All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is March 4th, 2026. My name is Coach Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here today. Today was a difficult day for me. Let's take a look at the markets today, see what happened. We got incredibly bullish consolidation right up here at the highs. And then we consolidated just over the top, but you can see the consolidation right here, how there's no air, there's no space in between there. It was jammed up tight against the 8 EMA, and you can see right on top of that is just hovering right over the top. Not much space, so you could tell there was downward pressure from up above right up there today. Now we got AVGO earnings after the close today. We'll see what happens with those, but you can see right here, everything was just jammed up tight. You could tell they were ready to roll it over, and here's the rollover right here. And I thought for a chance, they might linger here for like maybe 7 or 8 candles, and then wrap it up, jack it up, and keep going. Just didn't happen. All right, so bullish consolidation right through here. All of this trend day. You had a 10-minute uptrend. You can see the space. Notice there's no space anymore up here. Okay, no space between the 3 and the 8. There's very little space. You got to squint to see it. You can see the candles are even filling in inside the space. So it was jammed up tight with downward pressure from up above. All right, so again, concerns on oil, energy. All right, big concerns on oil and energy. Okay, the war is still on. They're talking 4 weeks. That's a lot of uncertainty. Okay, when energy goes into everything. So, when the price of energy goes up, that cuts into those profit margins. And when the profit margins take a little dip, investors start to, we're up near the all-time highs. So investors start to get a little spooked. So I would not be surprised, all right, if the market just falls, for 3 days straight, all right, to the downside, like on SPY down to 650, touch that low that we made earlier a couple months ago. I would not be surprised to see that. I would not be surprised to see that they're buying puts up here, and that's why they're not buying calls. That they're buying, actually they're hedging. They're hedging their positions by buying puts or selling calls up here. And I got a feeling that all of these days where they see how they jack it up that day, then they jack it up that day, and then they jack it up again. I got a feeling that they're selling calls and buying puts for a trip down to 650, maybe even 640, maybe even 600. All right, we are up at the all-time highs. Okay, so right here, this is the all-time high right there. All right, so let's go take a look at the 10-minute, see what we got as we come into the close. I'm going to take the trading off for right now. Let's move this out of the way. And do not show trading. Okay, so in the 10-minute chart, you can see we got the sticks in the 3 underneath the 8. Okay, so that's a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close on the SPY. I think this is just the beginning. I think these candles start to grow and grow and grow. That's what I think. We'll see. Remember, AVGO comes out tonight, so we'll see what happens. So there's 10-minute chart, 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 2-hour chart, We got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Put it on the 2-hour here. All right. Is that a 2-hour uptrend? Doesn't look like the same one I used. Here we go. And we want the 2-hour right here. So we got the sticks and the 3 up over the 8. 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. And they're leaning on that all-time high anchored VWAP, but they were not able to pass over it. They were not able to make it back to the uptrend line. You can see we got a little wick right here. This is a 2-hour candle. Tried to climb up there and consolidate. They got booted off, all right, all the way down here. I would not be surprised to see this roll over and put 3 red days right in a row all the way to the downside. So there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. On the daily candle, we got a higher low and a higher high. We closed inside a bearish trap. We closed under, see the pink line, all-time high anchored VWAP. We closed under the uptrend line right there. So now that's acting as diagonal resistance. Usually, see right here was diagonal support. See how price comes down, it bounces up, comes down, it bounces up, down, it bounces back up, back up, back up, back up. Not the same anymore, okay? So there's SPY on the daily chart. So you can see we've got, over the 17, we've got a low here. It's lower than that low. All right, this low got lower than that low, okay? Then we got lower high. And then this low got lower than that low. It's another lower high, okay? Another lower low, okay? And then we got this high right here, lower than that high. So we got another lower high and yet again another lower low. We'll see where we go from here. I think they roll over. I don't know. We'll see. They're still bullish, and that bull flag is still trying to hold together. Okay, so up here, this is over in the upper third. This is the origin of the move right here on April. Goes up and over. Right here we got price still in the upper third, so it's bullish. But we are in a downtrend. It was moving down yesterday. It moved up today. Okay, so could be another dysfunctional downtrend. We'll see. There's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart, see all the green dots. There's the April low. Bullish and in an uptrend. Monthly chart, there's the April low. Bullish, still in an uptrend. Nothing's broken. Okay, on monthly, weekly, daily. Really nothing's broken on the daily. We're just in a downtrend. Okay, we're still up in the upper quadrant up there. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, on QQQ, got a higher low and a higher high. We closed over a bearish trap, over the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the uptrend line in the middle of quadrant 4. They still have not made higher high, but if they get up on top of this, see that green-red combo right there? If they get up on top of that, that will be negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. We'll see what happens. AVGO comes out probably in about 6 minutes. All right, things may get haywire. So there's QQQ. All right, on the daily candle. Again, this is our April low. Price goes up, and we're over to the right. And now we're starting to pick up. I just want to point this out. Okay, this is consolidation right there. And notice, starting to pick up some consolidation under prior consolidation. That would be a bearish environment. We'll see what happens, all right? But that's just where we are right now. Okay, so there's QQQ. Going to take this off. All right, going to take this off. And let's take a look at the weekly chart. Origin of the move, April, up and over to the right. So have not made any lower lows. That would be the first low right there. So whatever that low is 580. for the SPY, no, for the QQQ. Getting below 580 with one of these weekly candles puts this in a weekly downtrend. Currently, still in an uptrend, just not moving up. Actually, just moving over to the right. Monthly chart, okay? Origin of the move. Here's April. Look at all the green dots. We're bullish. All right, we're in an uptrend. In order to take out, we have to come all the way down here and take out that 402 number, all right, in order to put this into a monthly downtrend. So there's QQQ on the monthly. Okay, daily downtrend, weekly, monthly, bigger time frames, still bullish. We'll find out. All right, there's QQQ. Let's take a look at QQQ on the 10-minute chart. 10-minute chart, you got the sticks and the 3 riding underneath the 8. Okay, so you got a 2-hour, got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Remember, AVGO could wreck everything. We'll see what happens. Currently under, you can see that pink line, all-time high anchored VWAP. 2-hour candle. Okay, 2-hour chart. Got the candlesticks and the 3 EMA riding on top of the 8. And we got a little space here. So we got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Okay, got 2-hour downtrend, daily downtrend, weekly downtrend, and no, weekly uptrend, monthly uptrend. Okay, on the 10-minute, we have a downtrend, and the 2-hour, we have a downtrend, and the daily, we have a downtrend. See how things are starting to expand. Who knows, we may get a weekly downtrend pretty soon. We'll see what happens, all right? I've seen this before, and this is where they don't tell you that they're buying puts, but I think they're secretly buying puts or hedging their positions for a dip, all right, based on the geopolitical tensions happening right now, okay? So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, we'll pick it up on the daily chart. Okay, that's yesterday's candle. Today's candle, looks like everybody made a higher low and a higher high. All right, today we closed inside of a bearish trap, but we're still under, now it's a falling 17. We're under a falling all-time high anchored VWAP. We are in the upper third of the quad lines, and here's April. This is origin of our rally. Okay, so this is up, over to the right. This is bullish, still in the upper third, but we're in a downtrend that's really moving down this time. In the past, downtrends seem to either move to the right or melt up. Okay, this one's different. We're actually moving down this time. Today we moved up, but we were actually moving down yesterday. So there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the all-time high anchored VWAP. You got a low here, you got a high there, got a lower low here. We're in a downtrend. In the middle of quadrant 4, we're bullish. Okay, maybe the bulls will rescue it. I don't know. We'll find out. All 4 indexes. We'll see. All right, so there's a daily candle. Okay, price action. Again, closing in the trap under the flat 17. Okay, closing inside the bearish trap, but under the flat 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. We're in the upper third because we're in the middle of quadrant 4, so that's bullish, but we are in a downtrend that's been moving down. Okay, so what do we got here? SPY trying to break up, not really having any luck up there. There it goes. 685.51. Trying to get over that 17. There we go. Maybe they get something. We'll see. There's IWM. All right, let's take a look at Stinker. Here's where this is the whole reason we rallied. Stinker. Okay, so higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, closing over the falling 17 EMA. We're still in a downtrend. It's a dysfunctional downtrend because, as you know, we are melting up. All right. All right. And there's the high right there. So they got to take out that high in order to get the uptrend going. All right. Until then, it's just a pullback in a downtrend. Currently, it's still under the midpoint, still under the all-time low anchored VWAP. That's a purple line right here. Still under the all-time high anchored VWAP. There's the pink line right here. You can see it's a daily chart. This is the origin of our rally right here on April. That's the all-time high right there in October. I think it's on Halloween right there, end of October. Okay, so we're not in the upper third, so we're not bullish. We're not in the lower third, so we're not bearish. So we're neutral and in a dysfunctional downtrend. Okay, I call it dysfunctional because it's not moving down, it's actually moving up. All right, it's moving up, melting up, or moving to the right now. So there's stinker. Let's take a look at silver and gold. All right, so for silver and gold, you've got first here silver. I'm going to pick up a cleaner chart. All right, so here's look like a higher low, higher high. We closed under a bearish cross, under flat 17, and probably under all-time high anchored VWAP. Yep, under all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so take that off. All right, we were in the upper third up here. We'll find out where we are with the scratch. All right, we are not in the upper third, so we're neutral. And there's a low, there's a high, made a lower low. So there's a downtrend right there, all right? They were in an uptrend right there, but now we made a lower low. So now we're in a downtrend on silver. So silver is neutral and starting a new downtrend. Gold. Gold is higher low, higher high, closing under bearish cross, over the flat 17, middle of quadrant 4. Again, here's our origin of our rally back here in 2022. Okay, so we're bullish, all right, because we're above the crosshairs. We're in the upper third, all right, and you can see price action. They got a high there. They made a low here. We made a higher high. So that's an uptrend and bullish and an uptrend on GLD. Yeah, I pointed that out a couple weeks ago that FNGU, so Tex is saying that FNGU kind of bouncing off the 618. Fibonacci looking for the reversal. Yeah. Yep. So Tex is talking about confirming what I said a few days ago on the FNGU. All right. So there's gold. Let's take a look at USO. So USO is an inside day, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, in the middle of quadrant 4. Okay, over this 4-year high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so that's bullish. That's in an uptrend. That's a 6-year high right there. They made a new 6-year high right there on USO. Okay, so this USO, let's take a look at UNG. Got a gap up on AVGO. We'll see. Pretty soon here. Okay, UNG, lower high, lower low, closing under bullish trap, under the falling 17, under the 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, under the green dash line, that's the midpoint, 50-yard line, separates bulls from bears. Okay, so down here in the lower third, this is bearish. Okay, it's in the lower third down here. See, it's under the crosshairs. Okay, so bearish and still in a downtrend. Okay, they have to take out that high to get an uptrend going. Okay, so still in a downtrend. Bearish and in a downtrend. Technicals, T2101. The market gets thinner and thinner, all right, as we days go on. So here we are. We kind of moved up and you can see participation really didn't increase at all. Okay, not much. You can see that's where we were yesterday when we were at the highs. When we made higher highs today, you can see we did not participate anymore. Market keeps getting thinner and thinner. Pretty soon might be setting up, which really explains a lot of the volatility that we're getting. That's T2101. T2122, oh, look at this. All right, so we were in the seller's chop zone. We left off bullish yesterday. All right, we went airborne over the midpoint, straight into the buy zone. Got a couple drinks here at the buyer's chop zone. Went down the street, got the buy zone, and we camped out inside the buy zone all day. Okay, that was nice. See those two highs? They made higher highs. Okay, and you see the lows? We made lower lows. That's 15-minute chart. That's bullish. All right, so maybe AVGO does have something in it. Okay, that's T2122. That's bullish. We're up here in the buy zone. Okay, T2123. That's the all-time high. Yesterday, no new all-time high. You can see there's a high there. You see we got candles up over it, so higher high. Okay, so we're still from yesterday. Okay, so we're still in an uptrend on T2123. Okay, because we made, let's see what we got here. Okay, this makes it a lower low. Okay, and then this puts us still in a downtrend. Okay, that makes this higher low. And then now we make higher high. So we're in an uptrend. Yep, uptrend over the rising 200 SMA right here on T2123. Up near the all-time highs. All right, now the 3-bar chart. Okay, I'm just going to share the Fibonacci's. I'm gonna crank them up so you can see them because it's hard to see them like that. So now here we are with the Fibonacci's. Okay, so up here at the all-time highs, we got the 127 up here, and we're at all-time highs way up here. Okay, now I'm going to move it over to this leg right over here. All right, and now you can see we're at the 1618. Okay, see the 1618 reversal area. Okay, in those all-time highs. We'll see. Maybe they got more in them. Maybe they don't. I don't know. All right. I think I would think the energy market may squash new earnings for new all-time highs for a while. We'll see. Okay. So we got a location where we have two of them setting up inside the same area. All right. So I'm thinking this may be the top for T20, 21, 23. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we'll see, okay? But take that off for a minute, all right? And what do we got here? Okay, you can see price at the top near the all-time highs is bullish, top of quadrant 4. Remember, this is our April low, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, okay? We have not made any lower lows, so on the 3-bar chart, we are in an uptrend. We're over that hooking rising 200 SMA right there, T2123. Stinker on the 15. Okay, Stinker's getting bullish now. Okay, a little late. Okay, we could have used you about 3 weeks ago. All right, now you want to get bullish. That's great, but Stinker on the 15 makes, well, you got a low, you got a higher low, you got a high, you got a higher high. So we're bullish. All right, it's in an uptrend. Okay, it's in an uptrend. It's over the flat 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. All right, you're also in an uptrend. You haven't made any lower lows yet, so bullish and in an uptrend here on FNGU. All right, based on, okay, I'm gonna put the quad lines on. All right, you guys can see. Here's the low up to the high. We're in top of quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. Okay, now I'm gonna blow this out of the water. Okay, now I'm gonna take this and move it up to the highs up here. And you can see we're down here From the bigger perspective, all right, we're still down here in quadrant 1. Okay, so this is be bearish. All right, if I include all this time. Okay, if I just include a little bit of time, all right, we're bullish because you can see we come off the low. We're up here, and I take all of this, move it back, move it back, move it back, right there. Okay, that puts us in quadrant 4. Okay, we're still under the all-time high anchored VWAP here. All right, any questions? AVGO beat, expectations. Let's see what they want to do with AVGO. Okay, they beat. Where's the pounce? Okay, see 2, I would be buying this. See that long tail? Right there. But we got descending wicks, so I would wait. But that tail is impressive. Right there. See what SPY says? SPY's not impressed. See what QQQ says? QQQ not impressed. Market seems to be just shrugging it off. You know, again, we got kind of light volume in the after hours, not to mention a thin market. You know, time will tell. Tomorrow will be the test of time. All right, right now I see things looking like things are melting off. Right there. So we'll see what happens. All right, that's it for me for today. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. Today was a sucky day. We can take a look at the trades I did. Some lousy trades. Okay, let's take a look at SPY. All right, on SPY, I'm going to go to the 10-minute chart. Okay, I bought some calls, and then I bought more calls, and you can see they rolled over on me. Okay, these are these 690 calls. They rolled over on me, so I lost some money there. Now I got 100 short here. Okay, so I will recapture 1,649 right there. Okay, 800. This was just I sold these short and bought them back. Sold them short, bought them back. Sold them short. You can see right here, sell them short, bought them back. Bought them back. Sold them short. Bought them and sold them into that high. Right there, so price right there. That's how I inked out 800 on those 679 puts. Lost 1,000 right there. On you can see I was buying. I was looking for price to go up or break down. All right, never really broke down. Just kind of bull flagged across the top there, and so I lost 1,060 right here, trying to look for this to move or break out of this consolidation, and it never broke out. 165 here. Looks like I was 689. Looks like I sold into strength up here and then reloaded underneath. Sold into strength. Bought and sold into strength. Bought and sold into strength, and that looks like I sold the highs as a short and covered underneath right there. 200 on 284s. Nothing but little scalps. See all this 165. Nothing but little scalps. Market just couldn't get. It was going here, but it never really took off and started going. All right. I still got my bearish bias based on the energy needs for the nation and for the globe. So we'll see what happens with that. I think they're buying puts and selling calls up here. Minus 57 on these puts. As you can see, the market did not go down. It went up. Lost money there. Calls, some 688 calls. Looking for a breakout. Of course, we never got over 687 area right there. So lost money there. Some 685 calls. I made money on those as price rallied up. You can see at bottom here at the beginning of the day and sold them into strength up there. Okay, so I made money on those, buying this and selling that. Okay, after that, everything just kind of goes sideways for about 5 hours. So really just nothing but slop, or it's really tight consolidation. So all this tight consolidation is probably going to have a pretty good breakout tomorrow. We'll see. Made 10 there. Again, just another scalp. So could not play any trend other than this trend right there. And I called it out in the room like about 5 times that this is green erases red. Really expecting price to just rip up here and go all the way to 690. You can see it went from 683 up to 687. So that's like a $3.50 move right there. And that's it. That's all we got for today on my price. So I only made about $1,300. That's it. $12.99. That's it. Tax is sharing his e-learning. And pyramid to profits from Tex right here. So if you want to see Tex's learning, it's right up here. Go to the resources. It's in the e-learning replay right there. I didn't know you were doing one. You did it on the 27th, Math of Trading PDF, slides PDF. Nice. I'll have to take a look at that. Thanks for sharing that. All right, traders, that's it for me for today. All right. Wishing everybody a safe evening. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you.